Welcome to Rise of the Underdog. This is the behind-the-scenes journey of what it takes for IVB to go to the next global level. Over the next 12 months, I Visit Boxing will create 12 iconic events. And this, as viewers, is your chance to see how we do it behind the scenes. I never, in my wildest dreams, ever thought I'd be a global boxing promoter. But that opportunity to become a boxing promoter, that was too good to pass up. I started my life learning to understand audience behavior. For 28 years, I have dug deep into the audience's lives, understood what makes them tick. And for that reason, we know that we can talk to the audiences and we know what the audiences want. It's those 28 years running a world-class marketing services company for the biggest brands in the world that has given us this huge, I would say, foundation, a huge foundation really, to build a vehicle like IVB that can create not just these great moments, but actually get the buy-in from the audience. So that's really where we're different. My love of boxing and what I felt for it and being a fan of boxing has always impacted where I'm taking IVB. There's a couple of instances that kind of come back to relive in my head, and it kind of drives where I'm going. The first one was a really famous fight between George Foreman and Mora, where George Foreman, knocked him out in one of the very latest rounds, and George Foreman became the oldest heavyweight champion. And that proves one thing, that you're never too old. You're never too old to go back out there. You're never too old to achieve your dream. And that's really important. I'm a little bit older than George Foreman was when he became again the heavyweight champion of the world. And for me, now, we're in the process of kind of achieving that goal and that vision of launching IVB worldwide. So that sticks to me. And then the other thing is Kalsagi. I've mentioned this in lots of interviews, but this is something really special to me. My father stands by my side throughout the whole process. He's still there by my side. And I think one of the things that Joe Kalsagi and his relationship with his dad was really instrumental in what IVB stands for today, because I saw that being played out on TV, watching Kalsagi and his dad conquer the world. And yeah, I'm now here promoting with my dad by my side, and that's something quite important. My approach as a promoter is different because I do two things. First of all, I'm a fan, and I've been a fan for longer than I've been a promoter. So I look at things from the perspective of a fan. But secondly, I think I want to create moments in history. I want to create special moments in time where both the boxers and the fans and everybody watching on television will have an I was there moment. They'll remember that. Just like I remembered those huge fights between Eubank and Ben and those fantastic Kalsagi fights. I want in 10, 20, 30 years' time, someone else to be sitting here saying, I watched those great IVB fights and I was hooked. So I think that's what makes us different, right? It's never been about following rules. It's about ripping up everything that you thought about and starting again. It's about creating a new series, a new way of looking at boxing, a new way of promoting boxing, and doing something special. We're going to have boxing events in the most amazing locations, in amazing countries all over the world. So Australia, Indonesia, India, big one for us. South America. I was born there. Got to take that back to South America, Argentina, Uruguay, Brazil. That's where I see it all over the world. When we're talking about these great events, they've got to be iconic, but they've also got to be history making. And one of the key things that I've always kind of thought about and always discussed actually at length is this reaching back in time to link to great historical events in the past where boxing made a difference to society, where boxing made a difference to the people that only that were in it but were watching it, and kind of bring that back from the past, bring it to the present day, and then recreate boxing history. So the iconic venues are only one part of what we want to do. We want to create historic events. And actually, for my marketing company, one of the lines we used was like, historic events start with us. IVB, that's going to be the culmination of that. Historic events start and finish with us. So that's what we're really excited about. We're going to announce what platform we're going to be showing the fights on. So really important milestone. So very close to announcing it, and very excited about that. Got to nail that first event. That first event in April is make or break, right? The first one's got to be good. The first one's got to set the bar, and I'm sure we will. We're not just building great boxing events. I really strongly believe we're building the future of boxing. Times Square takeover, 300,000 people. BMO Stadium, Los Angeles. Crawford versus Madrimov. Anthony Joshua versus Dubois. What an upset. 98,000 people filled that stadium, broke European records. You want to take a location that the community takes to heart and get them to turn up. And once you do that, the feeling in that location, the feeling in that iconic venue, it's ramped up to another level. They're not just turning up to just another venue that's been used a million times before for the same thing. They're turning up to venues that are different, locations that bring a soul and a feeling to the event that you would normally not have. When you put hundreds of thousands of people in a public space, you get a feeling that is unbeatable. You can't replicate that. You can't buy that. And that's the secret, I think, of putting together an iconic location and a great community. And I'm doing it because I want to bring it back to you guys. I want you guys to be a part of our show. I want it to be your show. When I was young and watching those Ben Eubank fights where it was free and everybody could go and watch it. You can just turn TV on. You didn't have to pay for the pay-per-view. Just turn TV on and you saw these once-in-a-lifetime amazing fights. That's what we want to do. That's what we're going to achieve. We are going to bring boxing back to the people. Every step of the way, I want you guys to be a part of it. And I want you guys to tell me where you want us to be, who you want us to put together in a fight, and which iconic locations you want to be a part of. For us, putting the community, the fans, at the heart of everything we do, that's the most important thing. Because remember, I think this is really important. I am a fan, and I love talking boxing, and I love to hear from you guys what you guys want. I'm really lucky to live both here in the UK but also in the US, and I talk to as many fans as I can. And one of the really sad things is that most fans in the US, they couldn't name you the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the current one. They just remember Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson. So for me, one of the key things of bringing boxing back to the people is opening it up to the bigger audience, making sure that the bigger audience gets to be involved in boxing, gets to know the boxers. Everyone knew who Muhammad Ali was. Everybody. We want to see the next Muhammad Ali coming back into the world to be a part of the world's community. Not just if you're a super boxing fan, but the community at large. Boxing took hold of me when I was 14 years old. I've been a fan ever since then. and I'm going to be a fan till the day I die.